Welcome back to the Stay Safe Podcast. I'm your host, Liam Scott, and today we're going to be talking about gas safety on site. Gas can be incredibly useful for heating, cutting and powering equipment, but it also comes with serious risks. Leaks, poor ventilation, incorrect storage, faulty equipment can all lead to fires, explosions or toxic exposure. So today we're going to look at the critical checks that you should carry out before using any gas on site, why safety data sheets alone aren't enough, and how gas reacts differently depending on how it's used, proper handling, storage and changeovers, because we don't want to be taking chances when it comes to gas safety. So let's start with some of the basics. Gas incidents might not be daily occurrences, but when they happen, they can be catastrophic. Gas leaks can lead to fires and explosions that don't just injure workers, they can destroy entire sections of a site. Inhaling toxic fumes can cause serious illness or even be fatal, especially if you're working in a confined or enclosed space. Damaged regulators and hoses are a common culprit, and if you skip routine checks, you could be playing with fire, literally. And remember, it only takes one spark or a small open flame near a leak to set off a chain of events that no one wants to face. So on site, why aren't safety data sheets enough? And most people assume that a safety data sheet will tell you everything you need to know about working with the gas. But SDSs only cover gas in its stored form. A safety data sheet will not tell you how gas behaves when you use it for a specific task. For example, cutting torches create heat and pressure changes that can increase the risk of leaks. How exposure changes in different environments, so a gas that is safe in an open area can become deadly if used in a confined space. How incomplete combustion affects safety. If a flame burns yellow instead of blue, you could be inhaling carbon monoxide. And the risk of sudden release or depressurization. So releasing gases too quickly can cause frostbite burns, oxygen depletion, or even explosion, which is why COSH assessments for gas use are essential. If you haven't seen one before working on site, ask for it. And so when you do start using gas equipment on site, much as you do with lots of other equipment, we need to be looking at pre-use checks and safe handling. So before we use any gas-powered equipment, we need to be checking cylinders, regulators and hoses. We need to be looking for cracks, corrosion or wear. Even small cracks can be dangerous. We need to test connections, and that can be done with soapy water. If you see bubbles form, there's evidence of a leak. And never force connections. Use the right spanner. Make sure you don't over tighten them because that can cause risks in itself. Ventilation is key. You always want to be working in a well ventilated area, as even small leaks can form and can cause a build-up of gas. Never assume that a doorway or an open space is wide enough. Airflow must be continuous. And make sure you're using the right gas for the right job. Never swap gases just because something looks similar. Different gases have different pressures, combustion temperatures and storage requirements. So make sure that we are aware. And if you smell gas, stop, ventilate and investigate. Gas leaks aren't always obvious, but most flammable gases have a distinct smell added in order to alert workers. So if you notice an unexpected odour, shut off the gas supply immediately, and only do this if it's safe to do so. If the leak is near the valve, evacuate and alert your management.
This podcast is being provided by Scott Risk Management, specialist health and safety consultants. If you operate an SME business, you know that meeting all of the business needs is a juggling act. If you want to simplify safety, save time, and stay compliant, SRM Genie is the solution. For more information, head to the details at the end of this episode.
Step 2, again wear safe, open doors and windows to allow fresh air in and gas to escape. Do not turn off electrical equipment as those tiny sparks can ignite any gases. And step 3, evacuate and report. If you're not 100% sure of the source of the smell, assume the worst, report it immediately, and don't wait to see if it goes away. So, gas is given an additive, and what does that tell us? So natural gas and LPG are naturally odourless. The only reason we can smell a leak is because they have an artificial scent added to them. Most will associate that with a rotten egg smell, and it's a chemical called mercaptan, which is added to gas as an early warning system. If we see a blue flame, that's good. If we see a yellow or an orange flame, that's bad and we should be getting our system checked. A yellow flame means that the gas isn't properly burning and you might be inhaling carbon monoxide, which is colourless, odourless and deadly. Gas cylinders are pressurized, which means mishandling them can turn them into metal missiles. Make sure we store cylinders upright and secure them, so don't lie them down, don't roll them round. Keep them in a ventilated, designated storage area, never indoors or in confined spaces. Separate full and empty cylinders. Empty ones can still have residual gas inside them. Never use force to open or close a valve. If it is stuck, get it checked by a professional. When it comes to moving cylinders, use a proper trolley. Dragging or dropping them isn't just unsafe, it can cause leaks or damage the valves. If you need to change over a gas cylinder, this is one of the riskiest times, and this is how we do it right. We need to make sure we turn off the gas supply completely, so never remove a regulator whilst gas is still flowing. Release pressure in the hose before disconnecting. This prevents gas from venting uncontrollably. Check the new cylinder's valve and seal. If it looks damaged or worn, don't use it. Make sure we're using the correct spanner. Never force it. Over-tightening can cause damage and can also lead to leaks. We need to test for leaks before use. A few seconds with something like a soapy water can prevent disaster. Okay, so gas is an incredibly useful part of our construction activities, but it's also incredibly dangerous. The best way to avoid any nasty surprises is treating it with respect, following out and carrying out our proper checks, never ignoring any of those suspicious smells or signs. So before you start your next task, just ask yourself, have I checked the gas equipment correctly? Do I know what to do if I smell gas? Am I handling or storing gas cylinders in the right way? We don't want to be being complacent. That can lead to life-changing or site-changing consequences. So stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't take shortcuts with gas. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.
This podcast has been provided by SRM, the owners of the bespoke health and safety management software SRM Genie, created for and focused on supporting SME businesses. If you would like more information on how you can simplify safety, save time, and stay compliant, go to www.srmgeniesoftware.co.uk.